Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating quirk of human biology. We're looking at why your daily walk might actually be happening at the exact wrong time for belly fat loss. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so let's talk about this incredibly common frustration. You know the drill. You lace up your sneakers, you put in the miles every single day, you are literally the picture of consistency. But that stubborn midsection, it just refuses to budge. You've probably asked yourself at some point, is it better to walk in the morning or at night? Does it actually even matter?
First off, I really want to validate exactly what you're feeling right now. If that scenario sounds painfully familiar, hear this. You're not doing anything wrong. You aren't too old, it's not too late, and no, your metabolism is not fundamentally broken. As we're going to see, your body absolutely responds to movement, sure, but it heavily responds to timing.
So, biology over calorie counting. To fix this plateau, here's our agenda. First, we'll cover the biology of the morning walk. Second, the evening advantage. And finally, we'll wrap up with a practical action plan. You see, most of us are completely trapped by this outdated calorie clock myth. It's the assumption that, say, 30 minutes of walking burns the exact same fat regardless of when you do it. But it turns out, our biological clock completely shatters that idea. Your body operates on a daily circadian rhythm, and that rhythm controls everything from your digestion to your body temperature, your alertness, and, crucially, your energy use. Simply put, your metabolism behaves totally differently in the morning than it does at night. The exact same walk creates drastically different hormonal responses depending on the time of day. And it's those hormones that determine whether your belly fat stays locked away or is finally released. All right, moving to section 1, the morning walk reality. Let's look at what's actually happening under the hood here. In the early hours, your body is just waking up from an overnight fast. And because of this, one specific hormone is naturally super high, cortisol. Now, cortisol often gets a pretty bad rap. People think of it as the grumpy, stressed out hormone, but it's actually your body's essential built-in alarm clock. It rises before you even open your eyes to gently raise your blood sugar and get you ready for the day. But here's the kicker. This elevated cortisol fundamentally changes how your body uses fuel when you step out the door for that morning walk.
So the really crucial point to understand is that during a morning walk, especially if you haven't had breakfast yet, your body's absolute number one priority is simply trying to safely wake you up. Since you haven't eaten, your brain prioritizes stabilizing your blood sugar so you don't just crash. To do this, instead of immediately tapping into your stubborn fat stores, your body goes for the easy fuel. It releases stored glucose straight from your liver. So yes, you are absolutely burning energy, but it's probably not the belly fat you are hoping to target. Now, don't get me wrong here. Morning walks are absolutely fantastic for setting your internal clock and just feeling great. Getting that early sunlight exposure helps regulate your sleep cycles for later that night. It gives your mood a massive boost, and it's brilliant for mental clarity. But if your specific goal is shrinking your waistline, well, the immediate fat-burning effect of a morning walk is actually much, much smaller than most people expect. Which brings us to section 2, the evening metabolic advantage. By the time the evening rolls around, your body has already processed multiple meals. You've eaten, your blood sugar has gone up and down, and your body has been hard at work storing nutrients. Right after dinner, glucose literally floods your bloodstream, and your pancreas steps up by releasing a hormone called insulin to manage all that sugar. Now, this exact moment, right after your evening meal, presents a massive hidden opportunity for fat loss. This brilliantly illustrates the critical choice we all make every single evening. If you just sit on the couch after dinner, like most of us do, your blood sugar remains elevated for much longer, which means insulin stays elevated longer too. And here is the absolute key takeaway. Elevated insulin makes it practically impossible for your body to release stored fat. It just locks it down. But if you walk after that meal, your muscles start acting like a giant sponge. The simple act of your muscles contracting literally pulls sugar out of your blood without needing a massive insulin response. Your blood sugar stabilizes way sooner, and your insulin drops incredibly fast. And by lowering that insulin quickly through a simple evening stroll, you aren't just burning calories for 20 minutes. That evening walk actually influences the next 6 to 8 hours of your metabolism overnight. Seriously, that is a massive multiplier effect for a really small amount of effort. Think about it like this. While a morning walk mostly just affects the single hour you're actually awake and moving, the evening walk literally opens the metabolic gate for the entire night. When insulin drops earlier in the evening, it sends a crystal clear signal to your body to shift into repair mode while you sleep.
And during sleep, your body requires a pretty significant amount of energy to repair tissues and keep your organs functioning. Because your insulin is low, your body can easily access stored visceral fat. It starts using that stubborn belly fat around your organs as a steady energy supply all night long. Honestly, this completely shatters the fitness illusion we've all been sold. As the data tells us, fat loss rarely occurs during the activity itself. It occurs during recovery periods. So, you aren't trying to walk fast enough to somehow burn off the dinner you just ate. You're simply using the walk to guide your hormones into the right state for recovery. Fat loss happens when your hormones actually allow energy release, and the evening walk perfectly prepares your body for that exact release.
Okay, section 3. Your actionable walking plan. So how do we actually put this fascinating biology into practice tonight?
First off, you absolutely do not need a breathless, intense workout that leaves you totally exhausted. Just follow these 3 super simple steps. 1, finish your evening meal. 2, let your food settle for just 10 to 20 minutes. And 3, head out for a gentle walk. No speed walking required here. Keep it at a really comfortable pace where you could easily hold a conversation. By doing this for just 10 to 20 minutes, you are literally letting your muscles do the heavy lifting of clearing glucose, work your pancreas would otherwise have to do all by itself. As you start implementing this routine, don't just fixate on the scale. Instead, look for these specific signs that your biology is finally aligning. Once your evening insulin patterns improve, you'll likely notice that your late-night snack cravings start to decrease. You'll probably find your sleep becomes way deeper and more restorative, and your morning energy improves. Then, gradually and reliably, your waistline follows suit. It's not magic, and it won't happen overnight, but it is steady, and more importantly, it's sustainable.
Remember, your body isn't stubborn, it's just patterned. Modern life, with our late meals, glowing screens, and immediately sitting down after dinner, it basically patterns us for fat storage. Your gentle evening walk interrupts that pattern. It teaches your body that it can safely access stored energy. Once you align your timing with your biology, your effort finally starts working with you instead of against you.
I really hope this explainer has completely shifted your perspective on this. Look, if mornings are literally your only time to exercise, definitely keep walking. But if you can add even a short evening stroll, you unlock a tremendous metabolic advantage. So the next time you lace up those sneakers, ask yourself, are you just burning calories, or are you hacking your biological clock to let your body do the fat-burning work while you sleep?